what do you think? What do you think of Incredibles 2? I was looking so forward to that movie for years, and for me, it just didn't land. It's like they just sort of rehashed the story of the first one and put it in the second one. The first one, you got Bob going off doing his superhero thing while Helen watched the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Then they just completely reversed it. It's like it didn't really try anything new. You didn't have any real cool dash moments or fight. It's more about Jack being weird, honestly. The villain had potential as screenslaver, but they never really lived up to it. Like, the best scene was the intro, the Underminer.
Oh, right, yeah, no, that was good.
Exciting, but other than that, it just didn't land for me. It was good.
For me, I'm actually really frustrated. I like the movie. I mean, for me, it landed, but it landed like, let's say there's a circle, and it just landed right on the edge of that circle of the landing platform that it was supposed to hit. It just kind of got there, but it wasn't like enthusiastic, like, oh yeah, Incredibles 2, yeah, it's just, the greatest movie. I was about to curse this, it's a children's show, so obviously we don't want to go too far.
We won't drop any F-bombs on Pixar.
But I mean,
wait till Quentin Tarantino directs a Pixar film.
The Incredibles 3, man. If it's
first Star Trek, then Pixar, he's coming.
If it's going to take Brad Bird another 25 years to make an incredible sequel, might as well get Tarantino on board. He can pump that out in a few years. But yeah, it just didn't warrant nearly, I mean, I think it was 17 years, something.
I want to say 14. It was.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, but it was at least well over a decade, and it just didn't in any way. Like, I mean, the script. I mean, I
think Brad Bird said he didn't want to do it unless it was as good or better than the first. Like, well, it didn't.
It wasn't either. Yeah, no, I didn't think. I mean, it just.
I like Brad Bird.
I really do. He's super creative. I think Ratatouille is actually my favorite Pixar film he's done, like more than either one of the Incredibles. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, that could be a good place to transition. But if the Incredibles 2, like as we know, it came out in 2007, because it is like it takes place the day after Incredibles 1. It would have been like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But it's like kind of in the same way Toy Story 3 did. It maybe to a lesser extent. Like I'm not saying Jack needs to be 35 or something like that, but like just. I don't know. You should have felt like going or something. Yeah, you should have felt like it's like, look, we're not the same people when the first Incredibles came out. Like you've waited too long.
I like that uncomfortableness when you watch a sequel and there's such a time jump where you have to like spend 30 minutes figuring out what's going on instead of like, oh well, I don't have to figure anything out. It's right where we were. It's just it takes you.
Well, it gives you more mystery
you're not
too.
Working your brain at all.
You're thinking like, well, what happened to make what we're seeing now happen? In the last 10 years. I don't know if it should have been 10. At least, like, I don't know. They should have just been at different places in their life. Like, I think Violet maybe could have been at college. Dash should have been. There just should have been some sort of evolution with them. I mean, their ages. I mean, it sounds unimportant, but I mean, it really is. I mean, it's like we've seen this, like, we know what they're like as kids. Let's, like, take them
try
to
something
the next
a little
level.
differently.
Yeah, like, how's this going to affect, like, let's say...
Like, Dash as a punk teen would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Or, like...
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, like, what if the daughter wants to get married, but, like, what's that going to do to her kid's DNA? Like, if like, a super and a regular person marry, what's that going to look like? You could do interesting stuff.
Beyonce can't see her for who she is. Well, you can't see her at all. No.
Right. No, but... Speaking of, you had a good transition with Ratatouille, and I just kept on going the way.
It's like I see the fork in the road. I'm not going to take it, but
I didn't whatsoever. I knew I could have, but no.
You like Ratatouille more than I do.
Better late than ever. I love Ratatouille. I think it's one of the better films. One of the better films Pixar's done. As if they haven't done like 10 amazing films, at least like 10 masterpieces. I'd probably say.
It was good. I don't know why it didn't do it for me.
That's kind of how I feel about Finding Nemo. It's like something about it I just didn't connect with.
But the thing about Pixar is they set the bar so incredibly high. And that's a good thing, I mean, when you set, like, the best animated films of all time, anything below that's disappointing, but should it be? I mean, we should really just appreciate for what they're doing as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I was really young when Ratatouille came out, and I used to watch that on, like, family vacation cars. I mean, there is a level of, like, you have to be a little bit self-aware. I mean, at least for me at my age, you're a little bit older, but I'm like, that has to be at least somewhat of a fact. You can't totally ignore the nostalgia factor.
Right.
But I mean, I did see it just a few years back, and it's like, wow, this is really good.
I should probably rewatch it. It's been a while.
It is, dude. It's fantastic. I don't even know what to see. I don't even know how to. It's just one of those movies where it's like, I don't know how to really articulate why it's so good in a way that would differentiate any of my compliments for other Pixar films. Like, it's great acting, it's great directing, it's well-balanced humor, drama, other stuff.
I remember the scene where he's talking to the rat, and then they fall into the river, and it like smash cuts back to him being on and they were just soaking wet.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
a little humor like that just took it. But it's so quirky. You're talking to a rat. And just the story itself is fantastic. You got to get.
It's just pure charm. Like the whole movie is just like it's delightful. Like it's just a great film.
Yeah. Now the best romance in Pixar is not much because it doesn't matter, but the intro to Up. Do you remember that?
God's sake, yeah.
I think there were memes going on for a while. Like Up did a better love story in 5 minutes than Twilight did in 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah, it really. I mean,
it'll rip your heart out.
That's the
great
standard I write opening scenes with when I'm doing anything. Yeah, I think of 2 very different movies. I'm like, all right, well, you've got Goodfellas on one hand, you've got Up on the other, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, there's like a couple of movies and whatever that I just
whenever you imagine if Goodfellas combined with Up, where they're the whole time they're having this mafia floating through the clouds, balloons. So Pesci just throws them off into the. Anyway,
it's like I'm gonna take you for a long cloud ride or house ride in the cloud. I don't even know how you word that, but
yeah, Up is one of those movies I acknowledge is good. It just didn't do it for me. Pete Docter, by the way, directed that. Monsters Inc. Up, Inside Out,
credit.
Incredible guy, but the music was Michael Giacchino. Like I don't know.
I have no idea how to say it, but his scores, I mean, in general, are
he did Incredible. He did Ratatouille, Up. He did Lost.
I was gonna say Lost is a soundtrack for me. That elevated the show even when it was.
Yeah, whenever he does the music, you know you got something coming at you.
It's like Raymond Dawaji. I don't know if that's how you say his name.
He did Game of Thrones.
But you guys out there know exactly who I'm talking about.
Ramin Djawadi, I want to say.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have even tried with the last name, but yeah, whenever you have a composer that good, it doesn't. You could be writing complete shit, which Raymond has scored for. I should mention, but like it just takes everything to the moon and just. Well, I don't want to say back. It just takes everything, just elevates it.
I would take that over Randy Newman, kind of singing and talking about.
I don't know if I can say that.
I mean,
no, I can't.
I mean, I like Randy Newman, but how much Randy Newman are we going to get?
There's never enough Randy.
There's never enough Randy Newman.
No, fuck yourself. Randy Newman, man. He's a king. I love Randy Newman. Do I know him from anything outside of the Toy Story movies? No.
I remember seeing this Family Guy bit about Randy Newman basically just looks at everything around the room and sings about it. Like, a lady's walking in. She's sitting at the table.
Right.
It's so real, though. It's just,
that's true. No, that's very factual.
Well,
we were meaning to talk about Inside Out. That's something we need to get to.
Okay.
Did we already? No, wait. We already talked about it, and I went on about high school.
Let's think about what you talk about. Come back to you. All right.
Part 4, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming.